Good morning, students. Students, today we will learn a new lesson in history. The name of the lesson is Science and Technology. So, in this chapter, we shall study about India's achievements in the areas of science and technology. Also, we are going to learn about the important institutions in the area of science and technology and their contributions. Okay, so to begin with, the first topic is Indian Atomic Energy Commission. So, India's first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, wanted to nurture a scientific temper and bring about the nation's progress. For this perspective, he set up the Indian Atomic Energy Commission on 10th August 1948. So, who started this Atomic Commission? It was India's first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Why he started? So that our nation progress. Dr. Homi Bhabha was appointed as the first chairman of this commission. Now, what were the objectives of this commission? Why did this commission start? The objectives of the commission were to produce electricity from atomic energy, increase the yield of food grains, and make them last longer. Set up the technology for achieving this and to also develop nanotechnology. In 1956, the Department of Atomic Energy set up its Apsara as a nuclear reactor functioning on atomic energy. Now, children, in the year 1948, that was 10th of August, Dr. Homi Bhabha became the first chairman of the Atomic Energy Commission. And with this project, they wanted to bring out some changes. Now, what were they? They wanted to produce electricity from atomic energy and also to increase the yield of food grains and make them last longer with the help of this atomic energy. Okay, and also to set up technology for achieving this nanotechnology. Now, children, what is nanotechnology? It is an innovation in producing new items or new technology which can be useful. Okay. Now, other than that, in 1969, an atomic power station was set up at Tarapur, a reactor research center. Now, where was all these centers set up? They were set up at Kalpakkam in Tamil Nadu to successfully use thorium for generating atomic power. The role of reactors is important in developing atomic power. Factories manufacturing the heavy water needed for the generation of atomic power were set up at Vadodara, Talcher, Tuticorin, Kota, etc. An institution called Heavy Water Projects was set up to carry out research on manufacturing heavy water within the country. It was later renamed Heavy Water Board. Now, in the picture, you can see these are the power plants. These are the reactors, okay, which are used for producing atomic power. Now, heavy water means what, students? The water which is used for producing electricity and other powers. That water is known as heavy water. You must have seen in your house sometimes if you have an inverter, the battery which is there for the inverter, sometimes we have to fill it with water. The water is bought by the electrician. If you have seen, there is a can. So that type of water is called as the heavy water. Okay. The next is the Dhruva nuclear reactor. So in 1985, a completely Indian made nuclear reactor called Dhruva was started at Trombay near Mumbai. So an Indian started this nuclear reactor. Where it was started? At Trombay in Mumbai. The Dhruva nuclear reactor uses uranium as fuel. You have to put some fuel. So what was the fuel? Uranium. At this center, 350 radioactive substances are produced. Now, they are also used for some purpose. They are used in industry, agriculture, and medicine. Now, let's move to the next point, that is Nuclear Power Corporation of India. So, this company, NPCIL, it was started or set up in 1987. Now, why was it set up? It was set up to generate electricity from atomic energy. The objective, what was the aim? The objective of the company is to master and develop the technology to generate safe, cheap, and environmentally profitable power and make the country self-sufficient. So whatever technology they wanted to make was that it should be safe, it should be cheap and environmentally profitable. Then the next point is we are going to learn is the nuclear test. Okay, so the first nuclear test at Pokhran. Pokhran is a place in Rajasthan. So India successfully performed her first nuclear test at Pokhran in Rajasthan on 18th May 1974. In consonance with the policy of using nuclear energy for peaceful purposes. Now, why did they do this nuclear test? It was for a peaceful purpose, not to harm, because they wanted to test it, and for self-sufficiency. The reason why India took this decision to test was because China's nuclear capability and Pakistan's desperate effort to acquire nuclear weapons with China's help. Now they started this test. Why? Because Pakistan was taking help from China to do some nuclear test. So that's why India also started doing. Dr. Homi Setna, the chairman of the Indian Atomic Energy Commission, and Dr. Raja Ramanan, director of the Baba Atomic Research Center, played a major role in conducting this nuclear test. So there were some important people also behind this to conduct this nuclear test. Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, she took the decision of carrying out a nuclear explosion. Pokhran was chosen on the basis of the required criteria for the location of the nuclear test, far away from human settlements and no groundwater reserves. Now, why was Pokhran, the place in Rajasthan, chosen for the nuclear test? Because it was far away from human settlements. Okay, for a nuclear test to be tested, there should not be any people staying over there. There should not be human settlements, because if it explodes, it can cause destruction. So they chose this place, that is Pokhran. And also there should not be any groundwater reserves. Means there should not be water bodies or water reserves over there. Why? If it explodes, the water can react in a different way. So they chose this place so that it won't cause any destruction to human settlements and groundwater reserves. Next, in 1974, when India carried out her first nuclear test at Pokhran, the USA refused to give India the technology for defense-related fields such as space research, communications, and missile development. As a result, India adopted a policy of developing its own missile development program without depending upon the USA. Thus, India joined the rank of nations like the USA, the USSR, France, China and Germany, who had their own missiles program. Now, when in 1974 India did this nuclear test, India was asking help from USA. But USA said no, that I can't help you all. But India did not lose hope. They started their own missile development program. So when they started their own missile development program, they were succeeded. They were successful in that program, and they also joined the rank. They were also in the rank of these topmost countries like USA, USSR, France and Germany, without taking any other countries' help in the missile programs. So after this test, there was another test, that is the second nuclear test. Now this second nuclear test was on 11th May 1998. India carried out its second nuclear test to prove its nuclear preparedness. That means why they did this second test? Because if any war or anything is there, then they are prepared for it. 3 tests were done on this day. One of them was of the hydrogen bomb. So one was hydrogen bomb, that is water bomb. That's not that much powerful. Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee assured that there would be no first use of nuclear weapons by India. But the USA imposed economic sanctions on India immediately. So the Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee did not want to do nuclear test. Why? Because if you do nuclear test, it can explode and cause destruction. So he did the first test of using hydrogen bomb, that is water bomb, and they succeeded in that as well. Okay, so here we will end with this video. We will learn the other part of the lesson in the next video. Thank you for listening, children. Goodbye. Take care.